Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down marketing management. Think of it as the strategic brain, the architect, really, behind how your favorite brands grow. All right, so here's what we've got on tap. First, we're going to bust some common myths. Then, we'll get to the heart of what marketing management really is, peek inside the playbook, and see how the game is changing. And then, we'll look at how it all holds up under pressure and, of course, what's coming next. All right, first up, let's get one thing straight. We're going way beyond the billboard to challenge some of the big assumptions people have about marketing. So, let me ask you a question. When you hear the word marketing, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? Yeah, for most of us, right? It's probably a TV ad, a billboard, or maybe a post you just scrolled past on social media. And look, you're not wrong. That stuff is definitely part of marketing, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. The real work, the heavy lifting, happens way below the surface. We're talking about the deep dive market research, the nitty-gritty of product development, figuring out the right price, where to sell it. It's the entire strategic engine, the whole shebang, not just the flashy ad at the end. Okay, so if marketing is this giant iceberg, then what's marketing management? Well, that's basically being the captain of the ship. It's about steering the whole thing. Let's really define what that means. You know, at its core, it's really a blend of art and science. It's all about connecting what a business wants to achieve with what you, the customer, actually need. The whole game is about finding the right audience and then figuring out how to create and deliver something so valuable that people don't just buy it once, they stick around. And you don't have to take my word for it. Philip Kotler, who's basically the godfather of modern marketing, he nails it. He says it's about making strategic changes, using solid planning and analysis to steer the entire sales and brand ship. So, here's the main takeaway, right? This isn't just some siloed off department. No way. It's the lifeblood of a business. It's what helps you truly understand your customers, stand out from the competition, actually make money, and maybe most importantly, stay nimble enough to adapt when things inevitably change. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How does all that big picture strategy turn into real-world action? Well, let's peek inside the marketer's playbook and check out one of the most fundamental frameworks they use. One of the most classic tools in the box is something called the marketing mix, or the 7 Ps. And this is brilliant because it forces you to think about every single angle. Every lever you can possibly pull. You've got the obvious ones like product and price, but then you have something like place. Think about Starbucks. They are absolute masters of place. They put their stores everywhere you might need a coffee. Busy street corners, airports, inside your grocery store. Convenience became a huge part of their brand. So yeah, this framework is all about making sure you've covered all your bases, from the coffee itself, to the barista who serves it, to the look and feel of the cafe. But here's the thing. That classic playbook, it's been completely flipped on its head over the last couple of decades. Why? Technology. The digital age has come in and basically put a rocket booster on every single one of those 7 Ps. The evolution has been, well, it's been insanely fast. Just think about the timeline. We started in the 90s with these basic websites. They were pretty much just digital brochures. Then bam, Google comes along and suddenly being found online is everything. Then, you guessed it, the social media explosion happens and marketing stops being a monologue and becomes a conversation. A little after that, smartphones put a marketer in literally everyone's pocket. And now we're in this wild era of AI and big data where everything is getting hyper-personalized. And some of the early stuff was just pure genius in its simplicity. Take Hotmail back in the day. They just added one tiny little line to the bottom of every email sent, get your free email at Hotmail. That's it. And with that one move, they turned every single user into a brand ambassador. It was one of the first and maybe one of the best viral growth hacks ever. And the best part? It was practically free. But look, great marketing isn't just about sunny days and steady growth. The real test, the true measure of a great marketing strategy, is how it performs under pressure. Whether that's navigating a PR nightmare or just helping a small startup go toe-to-toe with the big guys. Yeah, a crisis can feel like the end of the world. It puts everything to the test. Your planning, your honesty, the trust you've built with your customers. But here's the fascinating part. If you handle it right, a crisis can actually become a defining moment that makes your brand even stronger. Because it's not just about damage control, right? It's about seeing the opportunity. It's a massive, unmissable signal to stop and listen to what people are telling you. It's a chance to show some real empathy, and that builds loyalty like nothing else. It can even push you to innovate and, most importantly, to be radically transparent. Do that, and you can turn a total disaster into a moment that actually builds trust. And this is absolutely crucial for small businesses. I mean, when you're starting out, you don't have money to burn. Every single dollar has to count. For them, smart, strategic marketing isn't a nice to have, it's a lifeline. It's what lets them be clever, find that perfect niche, and use all these digital tools to compete with companies 10 times their size. All right, so that brings us to the big question. What's next? Where's all this headed? Well, if the past was about shouting a message at people, and today is about having a conversation with people, the future is about knowing people so well the message feels like it was made just for them. We're talking about radical personalization. And let's be real, we're already seeing this everywhere. It's not some far-off sci-fi thing. Think about Netflix. It doesn't just have a library. It has your library, curated based on everything you've ever watched. Or the Starbucks app. It knows where you are, it knows you love that oat milk latte, and it pings you with an offer. They're using data to get ahead of what you want, and when it works well, it doesn't even feel like marketing. It just feels helpful. And as we look even further down the road, a few big trends are popping up. First, there's a huge conversation happening around ethical marketing, using data responsibly and respecting people's privacy. We're also seeing shopping become totally seamless, where you can buy something right inside of Instagram or TikTok without ever leaving the app. And maybe the biggest shift is brands stepping back and realizing that the most powerful stories aren't the ones they tell, but the ones their community tells for them. It's all about authenticity. So, this leaves us with a really fascinating thought to chew on. In this new world of hyper-personalization, where ads are recommendations and shopping happens in our social feeds, who's really calling the shots on our choices? Is it the brand? Is it the powerful algorithm that knows us so well? Or is it our friends and the communities we're a part of? It's this incredible complex dance between all three. And honestly, figuring out who's leading is going to be the story for years to come.